Each year, Moroccan parents make the difficult decision on deciding on which university and in which country they hope to send their children. France has long been the top choice for most Moroccan Jewish families, but in recent years, Israel has also become a top contender. Each year, thousands of Moroccan students leave Morocco to continue their studies and begin their university life in France. For most Moroccan Jewish students, France has long been the top choice for study, with its large Jewish community estimated at around 500,000. But over the past few years, Israel has become a growing alternative for many students. JN1 interviewed Mayor Deputy Tal Ohana, whose family emigrated from Morocco and who has seen an increase in students arriving in Israel over the past 5 years.
For the past 5 years, it's a growth in more of 40%, the people that choose in Israel and finish their study here or in Paris. We see it not only from Morocco, also from Paris and Europe and the US, that more and more young adults come to Israel to study. And we see also people that are coming to make their practicum, their stage in Israel after having a master's degree or first degree in Europe.
Many Moroccan students cite choosing Israel for their studies due to concern for rising anti-Semitism in Europe, as well as political attachment to Israel and a desire for community in which to build familial ties.
It's both Zionism and rational thinking of where I want to be and to build my life. But for sure, I think that the situation in France is not best. It's not good as it used to be in the previous years. So many of the French Jewish coming to Israel and also the Moroccans because of this reason.
According to the Israeli Central Bureau of Statistics, Israel received approximately 17,000 new immigrants this year, an increase of 2.5% from 2012. JN1 spoke to a few Moroccan students about their studies in Israel.
First, I lived in Casablanca. I learned in École Normale Hébraïque. It's a Jewish school. And this year I got my baccalaureate. So I intend to go to Israel in order to integrate the Technion.
I left Morocco almost 2 years ago, and then I started my second year as an accountant. I started my studies at the Maimonides School in Casablanca. I got my degree, and just after that I left to continue my graduate studies in Jerusalem. It is true that when I went to Israel, it was a really big change. The change was radical, thank God. And I hope it continues in this way.
For many Moroccan students arriving in Israel, it can take a long period of adjustment to adapt to the new culture and to learn the new language.
But the culture is different, for sure. If you want to be Israeli, you cannot stay only with French people all day and speak French. If you want to be Israeli, you have to be much more involved in the other social life. And the university is a good opportunity to have that in Israel. So yes, it's not easy for every immigrant. It's not easy to go to new culture, but I think that it's not that difficult.
For the growing trend of Moroccan students moving to Israel to study, there are many resources and organizations to help them with their new adjustments, beginning with language courses in Hebrew. For JN1, this is Michelle Medina reporting from Casablanca.